Theorem G21. Let G be a group with normal subgroup H. If H and G by H are solvable groups, then G is solvable. So we are given a group G and a normal subgroup H, and also given that H and G by H are solvable, we have to prove G is solvable. Since G by H is solvable, there exists a normal series. By the definition of solvability, there exists a normal series, and in which G by H is denoted as G star, just a notation, and G star G is denoted as G naught itself. Usually we take like that. So G by H is also denoted as G naught star, superset of G1 star, superset of etc. Superset of Gm star is equal to set1. This is a normal series for G by H, and this star does not indicate the commutator subgroup. Don't make confused with that. For commutator subgroups we are using G dash. Okay, this is just a star is given just a notation for the normal series of G by H with abelian factor groups. That is the definition of solvability. Now by correspondence theorem, okay, in the hypothesis of this theorem, it is given a group and a normal subgroup H. In the correspondence theorem part 1, we are given a normal subgroup K of the group H. Then we will get an intermediate subgroup S by part 1. Like that, by using part 1, there exist subgroups G is equal to G naught, superset of G1, superset of etc. Gm is equal to H. By applying this correspondence theorem part 1 repeatedly, we get the sequence of, or we get the series of subgroups. Okay, and by part 2, first we get a subgroup H1 between G and H, and by part 2 this G1 is normal in. By part 2 we get correspondence theorem part 2, we get GA is normal in Gi minus 1. Okay, in the correspondence theorem part 2, it is given that S is normal in G. If S star is a normal subgroup of G star, then S is normal in G. Like that correspondence theorem statement. Here G1 star is normal in G star, or G1 star is normal in G naught star. That's why the corresponding factor group is normal. So we get the first factor group, the first subgroup G1 is normal in G. So again, thus we get a normal subgroup of G. Okay, and in between H and G we get another normal subgroup. Then by again applying part 1, we get another subgroup 2, and like that we get this series of subgroups between G and H. Okay, and by part 2 we get G, each subgroup is normal. And by part 4 says that S star by T star, the correspondence theorem, it states that S star by T star is isomorphic to S by T. So here we get Gi star by Gi minus 1 is isomorphic to Gi by Gi minus 1. So using this isomorphism property, this Gi star by Gi minus 1 star factor groups are abelian. So that abelian property is induced to Gi by Gi, the factor groups Gi by Gi minus 1. So we get each factor group here. In this series, each factor group is abelian. Since the series 1 has abelian factor groups, and using this isomorphism property, we get the factor groups in series 2 is also abelian. Next, in the theorem hypothesis, it is given that H is solvable. By the definition of solvability, there exists a normal series H is equal to H naught, superset of H1, superset of etc. Hn is equal to Z1 with abelian factor groups. This is given as series 3. Look at the series 2. We have to prove G is solvable. For that, we want to get a normal series of G with abelian factor groups. Look at series 2 and series 3. Here series 2 starts from G and ends at H, and series 3 starts from H and ends at Z1. So if we combine these two series 2 and 3, then it starts at G and ends at Z1. So we will get a normal series. In both the series 2 and series 3, each subgroup is normal. And the corresponding factor groups are abelian. Thus we get, combining these two series, we get a normal series of G with abelian factor groups, and hence G is solvable.